All right, it appears I'm recording, although I don't see it. Do you guys see that I'm recording? See a little slide somewhere? All right, see a little box somewhere? The upper thing saying recording? Ah, there it is. Now I see mine. Good, we are recording. So this is association benefits. This is the beginning session of the new member orientation program. We've already gone through the housekeeping stuff and the special guest presenter. So the word realtor, I personally don't care a whole lot. It doesn't bother me so much when you say it wrong, but I guarantee you someone in your office will correct you if you say it wrong. So you may just want to learn how to say it right. The word is 2 syllables, realtor. 2 syllables, realtor. There is no vowel in the middle here. This dash is not a pause with an extra vowel. So the word is realtor, realtor. It's simple to say. Think of it this way. Do you go see a doctor? No, you see a doctor. It's 2 syllables. Same thing, realtor. Again, it doesn't bother me. I'll hear it when you say it wrong, but I'm not going to correct you on it. But someone in your office, when you say it wrong, will correct you, and they may not necessarily be nice about it. So you may want to just learn to say it correctly right up front. The word is Realtor, National Association of Realtors, Illinois Realtors, Heartland Realtor Organization. Just get used to saying the word Realtor. There's a video. Who wants to skip the video? It's 15 minutes long. Skip the video. Hands up, skip the video. You want to watch the video? Okay, I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to skip the video. All right, organization benefits, your realtor brand. So you joined Heartland. When you came to us, we are the portal. So we are the access point to all of the different services provided to you. So Heartland, Realtor Organization, you gave us a lot of money. I rounded off and say you pay around $1,300 a year in dues, fees, and things to the associations, including the MLS. So you pay that to us and we pay it to those other organizations. So you gave us a whole chunk of money. Thank you. You might be paying monthly, quarterly, or annually. There's options for you, which they already went through. But you've joined all 3. So because you've joined us, as long as you keep paying your dues, you are a member of all 3 organizations, the national, the state, and the local association. In your business cards, in your marketing, as long as you stay current and stay active, you are able to use these logos. Now look at the National Association Realtor logo. I would argue this is the most popular logo. It's like the Nike swoosh. Everybody knows what it is. You can take the word realtor off, just show them this block R, and people know it means realtor. It's well known. I highly recommend, this is a little extra marketing tip, I highly recommend you utilize this in your marketing. It's well known. Now, I have nothing against your franchises. Some of your franchises have incredible logos. They're extremely well known. Some maybe not as well known. Doesn't matter. Yes, use your franchise information, but don't undervalue this Realtor R logo. Utilize it to get attention. If you're putting up a billboard, this is probably more important than maybe some other logos. And not knocking Heartland's, of course. I love Heartland, but people don't know Heartland's logo as well as they know the National Association of Realtors logo. So think about how you're going to use that marketing. The point of this slide is part of the 3-way agreement. When you joined Heartland, you paid us a whole bunch of dues and monies. We kept 1 piece of that, but 6 other parts went out to other organizations, including 2 pieces to Illinois Realtors, 2 pieces to NAR, parts to MRED, and of course we kept a piece. So money went around to a whole bunch of different places. We didn't keep all that money. Thanks, Caroline. All right, so Heartland Board of Directors. This is our Board of Directors, current board. So the important piece of this is these are all volunteers, other than me. I get paid, I'm a staff person. But the other 11 people on here are all volunteers. They come together once a month. Obviously, we're doing Zoom meetings at this point, and they run the organization on a high level. They are the governing body. They give us our roadmap. They tell us where we're going. I like to think of it as we're flying this large jet airplane. I'm the pilot of the plane. I've got staff who are the ground crew and the gatekeepers and all the other parts of it, keeping the plane running, and mechanics and doing all the things to keep the plane going. I'm flying the plane. And the board of directors are in the control tower, and they're telling us where to go and sometimes how to get there. So they might say, hey, you know what, we should be flying down to Florida. Great, we got this big jet airplane, we're flying to Florida. And then sometimes we get a change because every year this board does change a little bit. We get 1 or 2 new people on the board and people retire off of it. Might say, hey, you know, instead of going to Miami, let's go to Tampa instead. So we tweak the plane a little bit, right? So it's all good. Now, the part that could be challenging is if the board came in and we've got a strategic plan and they put together a strategic plan of telling us how we're going to get there and what we're going to do. If they came in and said, forget that whole strategic plan, let's start a new one. That's like saying, we're not going to fly to Texas, even though we're already on our way or fly to Florida. We want to fly to Texas instead. So changing that plane, that path becomes a challenge. So fortunately, we don't do that very often. In fact, I don't know that we have done that at all. But they're the ones up in the control tower giving us the directions of where to take the plane. So high level governing body, and the important piece is they're all volunteers, they're all with different services. Hard to read this screen, I understand. Kelly is our president, she's with Coldwell Banker, the real estate group out of McHenry. Aaron Dirks is with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Stark in Woodstock. Tim is with Remax Connections out of Marengo, and then the others, I know you can't read them, but I don't need to go through all those, I think. So you are welcome to apply for the board, although you have to wait a year. We are right now in the middle of going through that process to slate new directors for the board, but you are welcome to join that, that board. We do recommend that you join a committee first, which brings us to the next slide, a little easier to read as well. So we have lots of different committees, and these are the chair people for each of the committees. So Ambassador Task Force, Audit Committee, Awards and Recognitions, Contract and Form, Education, Finance. Again, these are the chair people. We have lots of committees. I'm going to break this down for you a little easier. So there are 4 main committees that you as new members might be interested in joining. So Education Committee, Government Affairs, RPAC, Heartland Cares Committee, which is our charitable committee, or the Public Relations Committee, which is more about marketing and events. So these are some of the options for you. These are open committees, meaning you can join today right now, even though our terms really start October 1st to September 30th. For these committees, they're open. You can come in, you can join at any time you want. Join, that's a big word. If you're interested in hearing more about these committees, glad to tell you more about it. Please reach to me outside of this class and we can talk more in depth about that. But in general, each committee meets for about an hour once a month. And frankly, I'd say they cancel every so often. So I'd say they meet about 9 times a year for the most part. The CARES Committee has been doing some food drives. So they've met a couple of times. They met just yesterday, or was it, I don't know what today is, Monday they met. So they had a meeting to talk about food drives. We did a recent food drive to the Hebron Food Pantry, and now they're working to do a food drive to Harvard, hopefully. We've got to get those details together. That's one of the things they do. Lots of different things, anything charitable. Last year, we were doing a lot of things for helping, for Habitat for Humanity. So we had, I don't know, 4, I think, different dates where we went out to different houses that Habitat for Humanity is working on and provided them labor. One crew went in and did tiling of floors. I helped with that. We did some flooring in a house. Another crew went out a different day and did painting in a house. Another one did demolition in a house, and I forget the 4th one, but that's the CARES Committee. The Education Committee puts together our educational programs, and that's not the CE classes. All the required CE courses, we take care of that here at staff. So the Education Committee, and Jacqueline Lechner from Berkshire Hathaway is our chairperson there. She and that group had put together a series of seminars every other month to bring extra information to our members, so for you especially. So we welcome you to join that committee so that you can help with ideas to bring forth things that you would be interested in having us teach. And you don't have to be on the committee for that. If you have an idea and you're like, hey, Jim, we wish we had a class on whatever, email us. So the best way to reach Heartland is info@heartlandro.com. info@heartlandro.com. It reaches several of our staff people, so it's not just one person. In case someone has the day off or is in a meeting, like I'm in this all day, that will get read and responded to by someone who's not in that meeting or otherwise occupied. info@heartlandro.com. Government Affairs, RPAC, I touched on it briefly, but the committee meets, and there's really 2 committees. RPAC is the Realtors Political Action Committee, which Neeley will talk about, and then the Government Affairs Committee. So they're very similar, they're very related, that's why they meet at the same time. We break the agenda in half, so I know the meeting tomorrow is going to start with RPAC, Realtors Political Action Committee, which is raising funds to give to candidates for office, political office, who are real estate friendly. And let me just be the first to tell you, nobody wants to give politicians money. Nobody. And I've got pins. I don't know where my pin's at. Here's my latest pin. For giving lots of money to this program. major money. So my wife and I give over $1,000 a year to the RPAC campaign contributions so that the money can be given to politicians who are real estate friendly. Neeley's going to touch on it, but in short, it's like an insurance policy for real estate. So we're not asking for thousands of dollars from you. What we need is $20 per member every year. And we have lots of ways for that to happen. And again, Neeley's going to talk more about that. So RPAC is going to meet tomorrow. They meet monthly, and RPAC is going to talk about ways, what we can do for fundraising and things we can do. Even during the pandemic, we have ways that we can raise funds, and we're going to roll one out July 1st, July 5th. I don't know what the date is, but you'll see an online auction coming soon. Government affairs is similar, but different. They watch what's happening in government as it relates to real estate and then talk about that at the committee. We have a large committee, there's probably 20, maybe 16 to 20 people on that committee who have their ears open to what's going on in their communities, signed ordinances, smoke detector issues, you name it, anything that the government, and government's a big word, it can mean township, it can mean municipality, it can mean county, it can mean state, it can mean federal. We're listening to what's going on in federal government, excuse me, not just federal, in all government as it relates to real estate. So we talk about there in that committee, and that committee really focuses most on local government. So leaving state and national out because that's worked on by Illinois Realtors and the National Association of Realtors. So it sounds maybe a little boring, but it's terribly important to your business. You know, think about sign ordinances, whether you're allowed to have a sign up on the property that you have listed for sale. Think of Oak Park, Illinois. They are not allowed to have signs on their properties when they're for sale, right? No signs in the windows, no signage. How do you know what's for sale, right? Well, we know because of the MLS, but it's a whole different place, marketplace. So imagine if we didn't have signs up, how that might change your business. That's a big deal. So lots of things like that. Heartland Cares we talked about in public relations. Public relations looks at anything, it's not just public relations, but it's also member relations. So it's the marketing branch. They are one of the few committees that we have that have a budget. So they are given a budget of several $1,000s a year that they can spend on things to promote realtorism, my word, to the public and to members. So we do some events. They work with our affiliate committee. We'll talk more about the affiliates right before or after lunch. But they work with our affiliate committee to put together programs for our members and events. We normally have a volleyball tournament every July. It's a big deal. It's been going on for 27 straight years. It may not happen this year. So 27 straight years, and we're gonna take a time out. Big event, 160 people come together. Public relations is slightly involved in that one. That's an ongoing thing, so they don't have to do a whole lot with that one. They were involved in the sessions we just did, which were public seminars. We had 2 Zoom meetings in May, the end of May. One was a buyer session and one was a seller session. In the buyer session, we had a couple of dozen prospective buyers that were asking questions about home buying. So that was a public relations thing that the Public Relations Committee put together. So welcome you to join any of these committees. Again, they meet for about an hour each month. And yes, we're doing Zoom meetings. So easy to get to, easy to attend, to join, hear what's going on. I welcome you to come into one if you're interested. So think about these 4. If any of them are of interest to you, what I need you to do is just to send us. You can put it in the chat box and Caroline will write it down. So great question, Holly. Yes, you can join more than one. I don't recommend that too much because I want you to be selling property. Not that this is a distraction from selling property. This is it works along in tandem with selling property. But let's be honest, you're not going to come to a committee and get a deal. So yes, you can join more than one, and yes, I would welcome you, especially if you're not sure which one you're interested in, to come as a guest maybe at the committees and let us know. So if you want to send through the chat box, you can send it to Caroline. You can send a private message chat to Caroline as to which committee you're interested in, and that way she will take record of that, write it down, and we will put you on the distribution list so that you get the emails about those committees. If you don't tell us that you're interested, you won't know about it other than watching our calendar and then trying to get in. It's gonna be more antiquated that way. If you let us know that you're interested, we don't need a long commitment. Let us know you're interested. We will put you through the formal process of getting you to join. You'll get a letter saying you're joined. If you find out you're not interested, you're not gonna be able to attend, whatever the reason is, just let us know that you're not interested, you like to come off the committee, and guess what? We let you off the committee. We're not going to hound you. No, none of that. So any questions on that, Holly? I think I answered yours. Anything else? I'm not seeing it in the chat box. I see some no's. All right. So again, if you're interested, just text through the chat box to Caroline the name of the committee that you're interested in, and she will get you on the list that you can be informed of the information. Again, I'm not asking for long-term commitment now. Simply, if you're interested, you want to know more information, you want to have the information come to you, this is a great way to check it out. Just send her that information. Thanks. All right, NAR. Checking the clocks. We got half an hour. We're going to plow through this. NAR.Realtor. So this is NAR's website. This was up on their site yesterday. I pulled a fresh copy for you. So it's a long site. Let me go to the next page. It's a long site. So this is what it really looks like if you were to see everything. And I think that's the end of that one. Actually, there might be more at the bottom. I didn't even get on the screen. It's a long site. But what I think is most important to you is this chat box, this search box, excuse me, the search box. What's going to happen to you at some point, could be sooner, could be later, one of your clients is going to email you, text you, call you, whatever, and say, hey, what's going on with, and they're going to say something, let's say the flood insurance program. So we have the Fox River here. It floods every so often, typically every spring and sometimes every fall, and overflows its banks, and we have flooding. So what if you had a homeowner who's interested in selling their property, but it floods every year, and they have questions about the flood insurance program? They might come to you and say, hey, what's with the flood insurance program? What's going on with that? You probably don't know that it's going to expire September 30th of this year. That's a big deal. So what you can do is go to NAR, because that's a federal issue. So you go to take federal issues to the National Association. You type in the search box, National Flood Insurance Program, or NFIP, or realistically, you probably call me and I'd help you. And I'd probably put you in touch with Neeley and she'd give you the answer. But you can go to NAR's website, use this search box, type in National Flood Insurance Program, hit the search button, and up will come a whole bunch of responses. NAR is all over this flood insurance program. When it is not in play, when it is, so if it expires and is not renewed before it expires, 14,000 transactions per month will not go through nationally. So, that waters down, but nationally, 14,000 transactions don't happen. You don't want that to be one of yours. And we do have flood zones here, not just the river. We have lots of other flood zones too. So that's a big deal for us. So again, national issues, go to National Association Realtors. Take a look at the other things they offer though. Real estate topics, membership, research, and statistics. I like this here, but just understand these are national numbers. So it's kind of like saying it's raining in the United States today. Nobody cares what's going on in the United States. They care about what's happening in Crystal Lake or Algonquin or wherever you live. That's more important to you than what's going on nationally. Just because 3/4 of the nation's under storms doesn't mean you're under a storm. So it's good to have, and sometimes you'll need that, but for the most part, you want to boil those statistics down to your own local. Again, political advocacy, you can see all the different things they're working on, and there are lots of things that they're working on. Obviously, tax issues is a big one for them. They have several staff people focused solely on tax issues at the national level. Education, events, NAR, and browsing, and then you see on the side here the other things. So that's NAR. We're going to come back and talk a bit more about them in a second. L&R Realtors, I just gave you the big slide. So normally you'd see just this top piece, but just know it goes way down, and I think I still didn't get it all in there. There's still more in the bottom I didn't quite get on my page. It's a long website as well. So just know when you go there to scroll down, there's some really great stuff. So COVID information, I'm not seeing the link for it immediately, but I can't see this too well either. They have a great site for COVID. So it's lnrrealtors.org, and I put those up there for you, lnrrealtors.org, and then it would be /COVID-19. So I know most of us have already passed COVID. We think we've got it all down, but there are still some rules and laws that have gone into place, like you still can't have live open houses yet. So some of that stuff you still need to follow. And as we change from phase 3 to phase 4, some of that may or may not change as well. Like rental property, this is a big deal. You could not previously show occupied rental property in phase 2 and phase 1. Occupied rental properties could not be shown at all, period. When we moved to phase 3, they lifted that. That was a big deal. So those kinds of things, you'd want to go to that COVID-19 page. All right, I'm gonna come back and talk more about them in a minute. Here's Heartland's page. This is our page. We like it one snapshot. Everything's on the screen for the most part. If you're on your phone, it might get a little bit, but it's not a super long page. You have to scroll down to find it all. So Heartland, RO.Realtor. This is Heartland, Realtor Organization.Realtor. That's what that stands for. This slide does shift every so often. We do put information here that's more pressing. Our calendar, our event calendars here, obviously we have to cancel most things that we've had running. I pulled this yesterday, so this is still accurate. And then check on here. So we do have current events coming up. At this point, we've not removed volleyball, which is July 22nd, whatever that Wednesday is, but volleyball won't happen. And we've got some other things coming up as well that we'll work on. But down here, and we're revamping our website, so some of this is gonna change. See this new members box? This is for you guys. This is changing today, tomorrow, or the next day. We're gonna take this away, sort of. This box is, we're gonna put a box in here that says Education Center, and new members information will be under that. This is for you. This is not how to join Heartland. This is stuff that I think new members need to know about, is to help you answer some questions in your mind, things you may not even know. I would highly recommend at lunchtime, the end of the day, break, whatever, you go to our website. Here it is again. Click on this just to see what's in there. There might be a couple of things that, oh, well, what is that? You might be interested in it. So this was designed for you, for this class of people. So it's for you. Again, we're going to move this. We're going to put the box in place here. It's going to say Education Center. You'll click on that and new members will be a link inside there. So if you wait a day or two, it will get moved into that. Just know it's still going to be right down here. You just have to click one extra link. So coming back to talk more about us in a minute too. So NAR, National Advertising Campaign. So I mentioned you pay us a whole bunch of dues and it goes out to a lot of different places. $35 of the money you pay goes to NAR for the National Advertising Campaign. Take $35 times 1.4 million members, and that's something like $43 million. That's how they get the money they need to do their entire advertising campaign. So $35 from you. I used to pay $30 when I was an agent 20-something years ago. I paid $30. Inflation's been really low for you. $35 still an outstanding deal. I was glad to pay that 30 bucks back then. It was great to get the publicity out there for you, seeing the Realtor information being presented to on the national level. So that's a piece of what they do. DC lobbying. So again, and Neeley's going to talk about that shortly in about 20 minutes. So DC lobbying, they do a phenomenal job of contacting our legislators and working with them to ensure that real estate remains a viable industry. It's an incredible system when you get down there to see that. Every year, except this year, we send a contingent of people to Washington, D.C. The National Association of Realtors has their legislative meetings in Washington every May. We go there, there's 10,000 realtors and association executives that get together. One of the days, typically Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, we go over to the Capitol Hill. We go meet with our legislators. So I've met with Senators Duckworth and Durbin, and even Senator Obama. That was kind of fun when we knew he was about to run for president many years ago. That was pretty cool. You knew that he was going to be making an announcement on any day, and we were there having a conversation with him, getting your photos taken with him, and that was pretty cool. But what's more important about these cool pictures is the conversations that we get to have with them about what's going on locally. They truly want to know, hey, how is the Fox River doing? What's going on in real estate in Crystal Lake? What's going on in Woodstock? How is the market going? The senators, even though they run the entire state, they care. Our representatives, they care. So we have great connections with them, great rapport. Senator Durbin recognizes me. I don't expect him to remember my name. He knows a lot of people, but a couple years ago, I brought my family with at the end of the trip. The kids and my wife came with to that session. Senator Durbin walks up, hey, Jim. Now I was wearing my name badge, but he recognized me. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Good to see you again. And my kids were just blown away because they've seen Senator Durbin on TV. It's that kind of face-to-face that's important. It was at that same meeting that he reached back to me at the end of this little conference. He came back, had a staff person grab me, walked me up there. Hey, Jim, we're looking to do a press conference about the tax reform. Can we use your conference room? So Senator Durbin came here, used our conference room. We rearranged a little bit, had all the news cameras in there and did a press conference right here from the Heartland Realtor Organization because of those connections that we have. So hugely important to real estate, and that's why it's important to you. I'm not bragging that I get to know the senator. I'm bragging that we get that connection with powerful people that can help keep your industry viable, and that's important for you. Professional development and designations. So designations, there's a whole bunch of them. If you look at my signature line, I think I've got 8 of them now. So they're important. So you might be saying to yourself, why do I need a designation? What does that mean to you? The clients don't know what that means. Absolutely agree with you. Clients don't know what those letters mean after your name, but they know that it means something. So when they see ABR or GRI or whatever, I've got 8 of them and none of those. So it's important, and 8's too many, by the way. You don't need 8. You need 1, 2, maybe 3. I'm just an education junkie, so I just keep getting them by taking classes. It's important for you to get one because, again, your clients don't know what it means, but they know that it's important. They know it sets you apart from your competition. So one of the easiest ones and cheapest ones, because it's free, is the C2EX, the letter C, the number 2, EX, Commitment to Excellence. So if you go to the website, c2ex.realtor, you can begin going through that program. Now again, I've been doing this 20-something years, so I figured I probably have the knowledge, I've probably done the things I need to do to earn that designation. I need to go do it now. So first day of vacation last year, sitting at the hotel room, waiting for the family to wake up. I'm sitting out on the deck, you know, breezes are blowing. I'm on my laptop and I'm going through this thing. It took me 8 hours to get through the C2EX program. It is not easy, and I'm glad it's not easy. You don't want it to be too easy. But it was important to do that. So you're going to go through, there's 2 sides. There's activities of things you have to do, and then there's knowledge that you have to have. So you're going to go through, I think there's 13 chapters. You're going to go through each chapter. You're going to do a pre-test. If you get 100% in the pre-test, you're done. You get to move to the next chapter. If you miss something in the pretest, maybe you missed 2 questions, then you have to go through a couple of things to show your knowledge, for, you know, to be educated on those things that you got wrong. Go through it, and you know, I didn't get 100% in all the pretest. I got a few of them 100%, but not all of them. I had to go, you know, re-familiarize myself with a few of those things. C2EX is free. It's easy to get. Easy is the wrong word. It was 8 hours worth of work, and I had to I had to show that I had done some things. So you may not be able to do that as quickly because you don't have as much experience in real estate, but go start it. So it's free. I can't stress that enough. All the other ones you have to pay some kind of fee for. Some of them you just pay the fee for the class and then you're done. Those are certifications. Or designations, you pay for the class and then you pay an annual fee to recertify every year. Keep your designation every year. So obviously there's fees involved. At this point in your career, I'm trying to keep your fees as low as possible. So free sounds really good, in my opinion, for you. But the other one I would recommend to you is the ABR course. That is Accredited Buyer's Representative. Heartland offered it 2 years ago. I don't imagine we're going to be offering it again immediately. We have a little bit of a challenge getting enough students into a classroom to put on one of these designation courses, just being real blunt with you. We need 25 to 30 students to break even on these. And we don't mind running them at a little bit of a loss. So if we get 20 students, oftentimes we'll run with it. But when we have 15, we can't take a bath on these things. So you have to pay instructors to come in. We have course materials. There's food involved. There's lots of fees. It gets expensive, so we need to have, again, 25, usually 30, just to break even. Even though we have 1,100 members, we often have a challenge getting 30 people in a room for designation. So we rotate which ones we offer and how often we rotate them. You know, we offer them. We do often partner, though, with our neighboring associations, the Realtor Association of Fox Valley, the North Shore Barrington Association, the Rockford Association, the Belvedere Association, as examples. So we do work with them. Outside of that, the Main Street Organization, which is a mega association with, I think they have 18,000, 17,500, something like that, members. We're 1,100, they're 17,500. They offer these designation courses more often. So you can take them through another organization. You'll have to pay a little bit of a premium fee, a non-member fee often, and you'll have to drive to Downers Grove or Libertyville, depending on where they have their class. But the ABR, Accredited Buyer's Representative, is the one I would recommend to you. You are brand new in the industry. You're likely going to be or are already working with buyers. So it's a great program. I think it's 2 days to learn some skills to work with buyers. It's important for you. My old partner, unofficial partner in real estate, Anna. We were 5 years in real estate. I'd already made the switch over to the association side. She was coming to my association. It wasn't here, it was a different association I worked for, to take that class. She came out there at break time and said, how is it? She's like, oh my God, Jim, we should have taken this years ago. So even a 5-year veteran, she was and still is a top selling agent, learned some things that she wished she would have had. So I know that's a good program. I know it's good for you. I've not taken that one, but I do recommend that one for you. That's professional development and designations, in short. Last piece on that, the GRI designation. So if you're in your office and you see someone has the GRI on their name badge, whatever, just bow, just give them the kudos. But what I would suggest, if I were you, again, I never tell you what to do. If I were you, what I would do is say, oh my gosh, you got the GRI. That's called the Graduate of the Realtor Institute. It's a difficult designation to get. It takes several years to get. You have homework, you have things you have to do in between. There's a week-long, 3-day-long training program that you have to go to 4 different times before you qualify for it. It's a big deal. So just give them the kudos. Wow, how was that program? I heard it was really good and it's a really in-depth program. How was it? And then let them talk. They're gonna like you. It's brownie points for you. It's gonna build a little rapport between you. That's good for your business. Let me repeat, that's good for your business to have that rapport with top selling agents. So find someone who's got the GRI on their name badge. You say, oh my gosh, I heard you have the GRI. What was that like? And let them talk. That's good for you. So that's the holy grail, if you will, of designations, in my opinion. All right. Realtor Benefits Plus. So NAR offers on their website, Realtor Benefits Plus. It may be called the VIP program. I think I've got the right term on the screen, though. I need to double check that. It's a whole bunch of companies that NAR has partnered with to offer you benefits, to offer you discounts. 4 major car rental companies are there. I'd name them, but I won't miss one or get it wrong, so I won't name them. 4 major ones. So my wife and I were going on vacation. We need to rent a car. She went online, she booked a car, and I said, hey, did you use our NAR discount? She said, no, I didn't do that. We called back, we got an extra 10% off the discount of the car. She'd already negotiated. So good stuff. Dell computers, Lenovo computers, or is it HP? Dell or HP, I forget which one. But go there. There's like 70 different companies that offer you discounts. So you could make back the dues you pay NAR just in those discounts. I recently bought a Lenovo laptop computer and negotiated it, the whole thing, and then add the 10% discount on top of that. It was good. So know this there. If I were you, I would go look and see what companies are there. Just store in the back of your brain, oh, I use that company a lot, or I'm thinking about doing business with that company soon. So you know it's there and you can get those extra discounts. Why not take the discount if you can get it? They offer conventions and trade fairs as well. So conventions, so they canceled the mid-year meetings. I talked about the legislative meetings in Washington. I have heard that they're going to continue on with the New Orleans convention to be held in November. So I'm told they're still keeping that in play. I'm waiting for it to get pulled. I guess we'll see what happens with COVID and whatever, but that's a really cool event. So at this point in your career, all of you are brand new, I would suggest that's not something you need to go to out of your way to go to. If you happen to be in New Orleans when it's happening, or you happen to want to go to New Orleans at that time, great, make that a day or 2 of your trip, but don't go out of your way to attend that. I highly recommend you do go to your franchise convention. If you are with a franchise and they have a convention, highly suggest you do that. Here's why. 1, you go there and you learn information. You learn about the tools that are already offered to you through your company. That's good. 2, you get discounts on things that you might need, such as signs, attire, stuff that has your branding on it. 3, it's a rah-rah. So you get to go there, get all pumped up, get all energized, you come back strong, ready to do business. 4, anytime you decide you're going to take time off, that's when you get the busiest. So plan to go away so that you get busy in your real estate business. That's sort of a joke, but it's true. And then lastly, and this is not to be undertaken, so not last on the list, this is great bonding time with your managing broker, and that's critical to your young new career. You need to make sure you're on the mind of your managing broker. Your managing brokers don't get a lot of leads to give away, but when there is one, you want to make sure you're on their short list. Does that make sense? So they're thinking of you. I guarantee you, if you go with them on that trip, that couple of days trip for that franchise convention, you will be on their short list of when a lead comes in, you're likely to get it. And the fact that you're new, they're going to want to give you a lead quickly. So that's a great way to build relationships with your managing broker and other top agents, by the way, which is equally as important. I was a top agent in my office. It was a small office. We had 15 agents. I was one of the 4 or 5 top agents in the office. There were times I had buyers I didn't want to work with for one reason or another. I was a listing agent mostly, but there were buyers I just didn't care really to work with for whatever reason. I gave them to Keith. Keith liked to work with buyers. He didn't always want to work with sellers, so guess what he would do? He'd give me or Debbie his listing leads. Great. So we could pass those back and forth. You want to be on the list of those top selling agents who have extra deals, extra business to give away to somebody. Yes, you're going to pay them a referral fee. Nothing wrong with paying referral fees if they're reasonable. All right, I've gone on too far. Conventions, trade fairs, go to them if you can. So again, I highly recommend you go to your franchise convention. Publications, you will get the Realtor magazine. They send that out. I think it's every other month. Here's what I would say. You get a lot of information. They send out a lot of emails. We send out a lot of emails. A lot of realtors send out emails. You get a lot of trade information coming to you from other places. Your company sends you a lot of emails. Think about setting up in your Outlook inbox. Outlook inbox, yeah. A folder. I call it media. You may call it industry relations. I don't care what you call it. Something. So that stuff that comes from Illinois Realtor, stuff that comes from NAR goes into that and doesn't clog up your inbox with all these things, because you don't want to just delete them. You do want to look at them. You just don't want them clogging your box. So I have them go to my media folder, and then I check that folder almost daily just to see what's in there. Yes, I use the delete button. I delete things too. You can't read everything. Much like with the publications, when you get the magazines, you can't read them all. At this point, you're not getting many. 2 years from now, you'll be getting several of them or many of them. You can't read them all. So flip through them, open them up, flip through them, look at the articles inside. Some of those articles are absolutely important and you're like, wow, I do need to read that. And you take time and read it. Illinois Realtors magazine, so they will be sending you one too. Last summer, put out a 4-page spread on rental issues. So looking at rental, and my mind went, oh, I don't want to read 4 pages on rental, but it's important. So it's important to your business, and I know Neely's going to talk a little bit about this. So I made myself read those 4 pages, made myself find the time to read them. It's important for you to do that. Where do I find the discounts? Okay, sorry, Lindsay, I just saw this. So let me, so that's publications, that's information. Good time to come back. So on NAR's website, let's go back. It's only a couple slides back. It would be probably under membership is my guess. And it's called Realtor Benefits Plus. So let me look real quick. You won't see this on your screen. I mean, where'd it go? Hello, back there maybe. It's not coming up. Here it is. Let me find it real fast. Where do I find the benefits? I think I've got too many slides open. Oh, here we go. Let me see this a little bigger. So if you click under benefits, Realtor Benefits Program, 3rd option down under membership, Realtor Benefits Program. You click on that, it opens up another page, and mine's loading slowly because I've got so many screens open. Just scroll down, it's got a whole bunch of options there of things that you can get, things that are View All Partners would be the link on the front top of the page. View All Partners is a small link, but that would be the place I would click on to get everything. So, so here are 10 different topics: personal insurance, electronics and mobile technology, travel and automotive, risk management, office supplies and services, marketing resources, transaction management, technology services, educational tools, and unique alliances. So lots in there. So I hope that helps. Let me get this screen off. All right. Lastly, Realtor University, Columbia College. Yes, I got my master's degree through Columbia College and Realtor University. It's one program now. So it's a great program. If anybody's interested in a master's degree in real estate, so you already have your bachelor's degree, contact me. I am NAR, National Association of Realtors, expert in this program because I took it. So I'm one of about 45 people who have graduated that program. Probably a little more, probably 60 people now graduated that program. So when people have questions about it, guess who they send? That's me. I'm your national expert on that program. Would love to talk with you more about it if you're interested, but I'm not going to go through it all right now. Illinois Realtors, Government Affairs. Neeley, is Neeley with us yet? If you are, jump in and say hello. I told her to do that. I don't see her. So
I am here.
Oh, there she is. Hey.
Yeah.
All right, good. So we got probably about 10 minutes or so. So you good to hang tight?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right. Whoops. So Illinois Realtors, Government Affairs. I'm going to let her talk a little bit more about all of this, of course. So she's going to mention advocacy and RPAC, not so much impact. That's sort of covered now in advocacy. Quorum call is an email that goes out every Friday whenever the General Assembly is in session. So read that. It's important. It gives you a highlight of the different bills that are in play in the General Assembly in Springfield as it relates to real estate. So it will say in the summary if we are in opposition, if we're in support, or if we are neutral, and give you a brief summary of what's going on and what it is. And it is a brief summary. Some of these things are absolutely ridiculous. Some of them are so important that you think, why is this not even in place yet? It's important to look at. Liaison to IDFPR. So we work, Illinois Realtors works very closely with Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation to make sure that real estate remains viable and the things that they want to get accomplished make sense. Local government affairs directors like Neeley. So Illinois Realtors has, I don't even know now, 16, 18, something like that, of government affairs directors that cover the entire state. Does that sound right, Neeley? How many of you are there?
There's 8 local GADs, and then we have 2 state house GADs.
There we go. So 10 total. Thank you. That cover the state. So they represent the entire state of Illinois, looking again at what happens in real estate, what happens in government as it relates to real estate. So Neeley is our GAD. She's an Illinois Realtors employee, and she covers McHenry County, Boone County, Winnebago County, Carroll, and I don't know what else goes that out to the river, the big river, out to Mississippi, and then a little bit into DeKalb as well. So she's got a large territory that she watches over and manages all those different things. So we're gonna let her talk in just a moment. Same conversation in professional development designations. Illinois Realtors is also involved in designations and certifications like NAR is. The GRI program I mentioned is done by Illinois Realtors. That's coordinated through them. Communications, same conversation. They send a lot of information. I recommend you put that media folder on the side of your Outlook or whatever you use for email. Set up a folder for those to go into. They send you a publication. I think theirs is quarterly, if I remember right. Again, flip through it, see what it says. It's important to know what's in those magazines and what they're covering. Especially, I would just take a note. What I do, I especially look for the legal update corner or page, depending on how much they have, from Betsy Urbance and Annalise Fortos. I said that wrong, but watch for their page. They always have very interesting information. It's a legal update from Illinois Realtors General Legal Counsel. So obviously, marijuana was a big deal at the beginning of the year. There were lots of articles on marijuana and how it's going to affect people and all the different things, affect real estate, people in real estate. So it's always about real estate, of course, but pretty interesting. The legal hotline, so the same 2 ladies, take care of the legal hotline. You, as an agent, are not able to contact the legal hotline directly, but your managing broker is. I would just recommend to you, if you have questions, and it doesn't have to be a legal question. In fact, I prefer if they're not when they come to me, reach out to Heartland. We are here to help you out. One of the best things that we can do for you is offer you advice. So you're going to have questions about how to do certain things. The first place you should go is always your managing broker or your mentor, whichever or both. Check with them first, because when you call here, you talk to us, you send me an email, the first thing I'm going to say is, what did your managing broker say? Because that's what you have to listen to. I can give you my opinion, my advice, but that's not meaningless, but less important than your managing broker. You have to do what your managing broker says. You don't have to do what I say. I'll give you my opinion, and oftentimes the advice we give is plenty to get you on your way. Same thing with legal hotline. So if there's something that comes to us and we're not quite sure the answer, I'll reach out to legal hotline and get the information from them, or your managing broker can reach your legal hotline and get the information on those things. Skip that one. All right, Heartland Services, what do we do? Electronic lock boxes, of course, you get those through us, and Caroline's gonna tell you more about that in a little bit, about an hour or so. MLS Services, again, we are the portal to that program, but we are not the MLS. So we used to do a whole lot of information on the MLS and provide you all kinds of things. We can't anymore. I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. Power Success Tools is our library. So when you're allowed back in our office, which we hope will be in July, but I don't know that yet, we have a library of information for you. We welcome you. I encourage you to come check out the information. When you come here, search me out. Say, hey, it's Jim, and I want to ask him about the library. It's called the Power Success Tools. I will show you some things that I think are most important for you. The Howard Stinton program, I forget what it's called, but the Howard Stinton program is amazing. So if I were a new agent, I would make you, if I were your managing broker, I'd make you go get the Howard Stinton Success Series, whatever it's called, and look at it. It's great. But we have 3 bookshelves full of materials is the point, and there's lots of stuff for you to look at. Educational opportunities, we talked about that already. So we do offer educational opportunities pretty much every other month. We did do the last one through Zoom, and we'll try to do the next ones. Of course, we have those weekly webinars, which are educational opportunities as well. We welcome you to take those courses. It's information that we could and probably should be charging you a fee for. My opinion is we've already charged you fees to join Heartland, so why would we charge you again for information we have to give to you? But the problem that I have, just giving you a glimpse into my world, if we don't charge you a fee, you think there's no value. I realize that. I still think I'd rather offer it to you for free, and if maybe we get 1 or 2 dozen people to come get it, they got it for free. I don't want to charge you a fee for something that we could be giving you. So there is value even if it's free. I can't hit that hard enough. Events, we do a lot of events normally. Again, we will have to cancel them. We did cancel, we did have bowling in February. We did not do our martini mixer in April. We will not do volleyball in July this year. What do we normally do? We're missing stuff. Our installation in September. We've done a boat tour up on the Fox River in conjunction with Women's Council. And we don't have a slide on Women's Council, so let me just digress. And Neeley, we're going to be a little bit behind, just FYI, because I've still got to do the MRED stuff. So the boat tour with Women's Council, you all should be involved with Women's Council. We've tag teamed, we coordinate very well with our local Women's Council of Realtors chapter. I'm a very proud member. Men are very much welcome into Women's Council. So I'm not the only guy that's involved. There's probably 1/3 of the room are guys, maybe 25% of the room are guys. Great programs. They bring in excellent presenters. Educational opportunities, we tag team with them to utilize them. So that little synergy, we're better together than we are separately. So highly recommend that you join the Women's Council of Realtors and be a part of that. If you want to know more about that, please text me and we can, or chat room me, and we can get you in touch with Lisa. She's their president this year, and they can tell you more about that. They do a monthly luncheon. They've been doing Zoom sessions in the evening. I'm not sure what their next planned event is. I don't recall off the top of my head, but they're still doing great sessions, great presenters. There are fees for the luncheon, obviously, because there's a lunch involved. There's a fee to join and become a full member, but it's well worth it. I've been a member of the Women's Council for probably getting close to 20 years, so you should. All right, events, communication, we send you information. We send out our Wednesday presence message. So the president of the association gets a presence message. We call it message of the week. It's not always from the president. It can be from us. We also send you emails if we need to promote an extra class here or there. And then of course, Friday is our newsletter that goes out. So just take a look, scan through these, take a look at them, see what information is in there. And you're going to want to read some of those articles more likely than other articles. We have a store here as well. So while we are closed to members, we do have curbside service right now. So if there's something you need to purchase from us, we have all kinds of sign writers. We have over 100 titles in stock here at Heartland. We have a whole wall of sign writers available to you. So sold, 3-bedroom, I mean, you think of it, we've got over 100. So you think of it, we've got it. And they're $8.99 for sign writers. The cool thing about us is we have it here. It's in stock. Almost all of our stuff in stock. It's not marked up very high, and you're not going to pay a shipping fee, and we have it here for you to pick up immediately. We have brochure boxes, all kinds of stuff. I'd love to have you come see it. Obviously, we can't do that yet, but we do have curbside service. So if you want to buy something, including booties, by the way, those shoe coverings, we have shoe coverings, and we have disposable masks. We're currently doing a kit of 12 booties and 5 masks for $13. And again, you let us know you want it. We'll get staff to come meet you at the curb. You can call us when you get here. We'll come outside and give them to you. We will invoice you. You can pay online. So we have a store for you with lots of goodies, which I want you to come check out after we've reopened for you. Local advertising, again, our Realtor Public Relations Committee has a budget. So you see on the screen this little look here. This is one of the billboards we put up many years ago. So now ask me how I'll call a realtor today. Billboards have to be very quick, sweet. You know, you're driving by, it's only a couple of words you're able to pick up. So this is what it was. This is not about promoting Heartland. This is about getting the members of the public to call you, to call a realtor. So we do local advertising. And again, I come back to advice. Call us. If you have questions, you're not sure to do something, whatever it is, call us. We are here. Keep in mind, you are our customer. If you go out of business and all of our customers go out of business, we go out of business. So we want to do everything we can to make sure you are successful in real estate for selfish reasons, as well as, of course, we care about you. All right, briefly on MRED. So I don't have a lot to talk about in MRED, but I just want to cover a couple things. MRED products and services. So here's our help desk. I'm going to leave this slide. I'm going to come back to the slide in a minute. You're going to want to write down these phone numbers. The help desk and the training desk number. I will come back to this slide. So MRED offers a whole bunch of services. So I know you can't read this, but just look at these red dots. Think of these as tabs. There's one on every one of the products. So there's got to be 24 different products here. They have a whole lot of things that are offered to you through the MLS. I'm on their board, so I'm biased. Let me start there. But it's probably the most robust MLS in the country and offered at a very reasonable price. Heartland charges you $25 a month for your MLS access. That's cheap. There are other associations and other associations nearby that charge 10 times that. If you go to the commercial MLS, it's probably 20 times. It can be $700 a month for the commercial MLS, depending on what package you buy. But this is cheap, and yet the most robust. So inexpensive is probably the word I should have used. A very inexpensive opportunity for you. Awesome information. You can go to that website down here, the store, to upgrade some of these. So most of these programs are available to you at a basic level, and I would argue that the basic level is plenty robust enough to meet your needs. For most of these, you do not need to upgrade to the premium services to do your real estate. The one that I might look at would be the home, I can't remember it, not Home Path, HomeSnap. Where's HomeSnap? I don't see it. HomeSnap would be the one that I would think about upgrading to because it brands your information. It's more related to your client's information. So HomeSnap would be one I'd look at upgrading. So lots of opportunities for training, live online webinars, hands-on at the association when we open back up, individual classes, custom classes for your office. So lots of ways for you to learn more about these programs. In the packet that you received, so Caroline sent you information yesterday with a little packet of information. We're not going to go over most of that, but in there are several pages from MRED. So I just want to briefly talk about them. I'm not even going to pull it up. So in there, it talks about a definition of some of the courses. So I went to MRED and asked them, asked their general manager, what's the order that you think new members, this class, should take these classes in? So Jeff put together, and he and his team put together a list of the order. And I said, but Jeff, the CMA program's like the 5th program on here. They can't wait to the 5th class to take the CMA program. They need to learn that now. And he said, yeah, but they really need these other 4 before that one. And I went, okay, you're right. They probably need it. My point is you need to learn these programs quickly. So the CMA program, Competitive Market Analysis, you should learn that in real estate school. That's the program you're going to use to put together a market analysis you're going to use on a listing appointment. If you wait to learn that program until you've got a listing appointment, you've waited too long. You need to do as homework tonight, go to the CMA program, do a CMA on your own house, get in the computer, play with it. Even though you probably have a good idea what your home is worth, go pull comps, put together it, print it off so you know what it looks like. You need to know your listing presentation upside down, literally. So when you take the CMA on a listing appointment, you give it to them, you're looking at it with them on their copy upside down. So you've got to learn what you're going to say, how you're going to go through this upside down, literally. So that's how well you need to know this program, inside, outside, and even upside down. So learn the CMA program, do your house, then do someone else's house who doesn't live in your neighborhoods, maybe your aunt, your uncle, your mom, somebody who lives outside your neighborhood, but still in an area that you know. So if you live in Crystal Lake, still do another house in Crystal Lake, but not your home, not your subdivision. Go outside. Practice doing this on several homes so you can get used to it. Imagine what's going to happen when someone calls you up with a really unique house. So sometimes I get that question, someone calls, well, I got this horse farm and there's no other horse farms like it. Now how do I, you know what? I'm not the expert in that. You guys have to be the expert in that. You have to figure out what's a good comp and what's not. So go play with the program. Don't wait for your 5th class to take the CMA program. Go play with it now, and then take the program or go to the online webinar so you can learn some more details about what you missed as you played with it. That's my opinion. Here's the help desk number, training desk number. I'm gonna leave that here for only about another 15 seconds as I introduce Neeley. Are you ready? I thought you might be. So Neeley is gonna share the screen and just, or you wanna use my screen or your screen?
Either screen is fine. I can share mine so to smooth the transition.
You have it, you have your own program, right?
Yep.
Right, I'm gonna stop the recording real quick here. I think, where's the recording? Stop recording. And we're gonna bring you back and recording.